Alright friends, it's T and I'm back with a new video, man. It's on Thomas Delaure. I can't believe it. 7 honest supplements that build muscle mass legally. Are you kidding me, man? More fake mass. It's gonna build you more fake mass. He's gonna bring it up, but people are too delusional to understand what he's saying. He kind of says the stuff in front of you, but you're not really paying attention. These are still legal. Okay, let's review this video.
Let's get down to what actually works in the world of muscle building supplements. There's a lot out there that could work
Okay, what actually works in the artificial realm of the fitness industry to create artificial muscle using supplements?
if you really look at these little harebrained studies. Let's talk about the evidence, but also let's talk about a couple things that are kind of looming around the corner in the world of research. We can't always just look at what's proven with tons of data. We do have to get curious about some new things. Now, every single thing I'm talking about today is going to be something that you can pick up cheap, and that's kind of the beauty of what actually works. It's not some fancy schmancy stuff.
That's the beauty of this stuff. You can pick it up real cheap. Yeah. I ain't gonna build you real muscle, but I'll build you something fake.
It's stuff that works. And I'll lead right in with the first one that you could probably get.
It's stuff that works to create more artificial muscles than the last time. Yes.
Yes, but I'm going to say it anyway, and that's creatine. However, you don't need
Creatine hypertrophies muscle through adding water inside the muscles. Now, is water a muscle? No, but it'll make the muscle protrude as though it hypertrophied, like it got bigger. It will get bigger. There's a bunch of water in it. Yeah, you need protein to build muscle, not water. You understand me? It's not going to build muscle. And anyways, all of you reached the nuclear domain size limit. You're basically just breaking down and rebuilding the same proteins in the gym if you're doing that.
10 grams of creatine. The research is starting to show all you need is enough to kind of saturate your muscles, which might be 1 gram, it might be 2 grams, it might be 3 grams, and just straight, simple, cheap creatine monohydrate is all you really need. The interesting thing with creatine is it doesn't necessarily...
That's all you need, about a couple of grams of this creatine, the magic powder, and you're gonna build some magic phony muscles. Yahoo! And then when you stop taking it, it'll go away, so it'll give you that beautiful cosmetic look. Yeah, what you're looking for. Temporarily.
Build mass. It's an energy building supplement, so it helps you build energy, helps...
Oh, it's an energy building supplement. I told you, that energy, sarcoplasmic hypertrophy is based on energy. What is it? Glycogen loading. Well, this one here just draws water into the muscle through creatine. Yeah, broski. Energy. It's going to give you energy. Energy is going to give you power. It's like being on drugs.
To build strength. Okay, but with strength, typically...
Oh, it's going to help you build strength. What kind of strength is it going to help you build? Is it going to be ultrastructural strength, or is it going to be force production strength? Which strength am I going to get, Thomas?
Becomes mass, and it might help you improve recovery. Now, what's cool...
It becomes mass. Water. It becomes water in the mass to increase the mass. Phony. Yes, and it helps you lift like a gym slave, a lifting slave. Yes, make you better being a lifting slave on drugs.
Is we've got brand new data that's come out end of 2022, published in the journal Nutrients. What we saw was that there was some data indicating there is a decrease in leucine.
Yeah, what did you see?
Oxidation. Leucine is the primary amino acid associated with anabolism, with building muscle and even preserving muscle. If you
Anabolism and preserving the muscle. Well, we know that protein is breaking down and rebuilding constantly throughout the day. But you're going to notice he trips up when he says it because he doesn't want to mention that. See what I mean?
Have leucine oxidation,
Watch.
You're breaking down muscle. So a reduction in leucine oxidation demonstrates that you are preventing or at least limiting the amount of muscle.
Well, we know because these people that are trained coming to the gym, they get oxidative and hypoxia damage in the body. That too can add to the breakdown of the proteins in the body. So that has to go through a type of repair. But that isn't muscle growth there. Well, if protein synthesis exceeds that breakdown, yeah, it will. But here's the problem. It has an MND size limit. Get it? During hypertrophic process, it's beyond. You need nuclei. Can't support any more further muscle growth there. See what I mean? It's beyond it. So there's no point there. It has a nuclear domain limit. Reach the ceiling limit, bro. So what are you doing? Breaking down and just your protein turning over. That's it.
Muscle breakdown. So building muscle is always a balance of protein synthesis, muscle protein synthesis, and muscle protein breakdown.
Notice how he paused there. Notice how he stopped there. Because, yeah, it's a process of protein synthesis, right? Protein synthesis and protein breakdown. So why the fuck do you need all of these fucking powders and pills and creatines and supplements to build phony muscles? Because you can't bypass myonuclear domain size limit, where the MND size has reached the ceiling limit during hypertrophic process, where the satellite cell is beyond where it can donate any more extra nuclei to that domain to support any further growth. So it doesn't matter how much protein you eat. You can't bypass myonuclear domain size limit without these nuclei. And they are beyond donation, bro. Get it? Yeah, because they reach the ceiling limit during that hypertrophic process. You have a problem. Houston, we have a problem. So you can't synthesize any more protein to further that domain because you need these nuclei. They synthesize protein. So it doesn't matter how much protein you eat. You're just killing yourself for no other reason. So that's why they sell you all of these products, these supplements. You understand me? Because they know that muscle has a domain limit and you're never building muscle again. That's why they sell you steroids, because steroids don't build muscle. It's cosmetic. It too builds water in the muscles, creatine, water in the muscles, HMB. All of these products, it never says in myonuclear domain size limit, if you could check PubMed, it never says that a steroid will bypass this myonuclear domain size limit. They talk about some stuff there, something, but it itself does not bypass it. Remember, muscles are post-mitotic. They do not split. So something traumatic has to happen, even super traumatic, for that domain even to be pushed further, but it's reached the ceiling limit. Yeah.
You may not worry about the muscle protein breakdown, but you're in a state of breakdown much more than you are in a state of synthesis. So if you...
No, you're not. When you come to the gym, that is a window for breakdown and protein synthesis. So if you come to the gym, you should eat protein before you go there. So you're not breaking down any protein. You're just really maintaining what you have, and it's called a newbie gain. You're never going to pass the newbie gain phase. These other fake muscles you're getting is through herbivore diet and supplements, carbohydrates. It's an energy source, like he said, energy into the muscle.
You can reduce the amount that you're breaking down. That is arguably even a bigger lever than trying to increase synthesis. Also with this study...
Does it really matter reduce how much you're breaking down? You're just going to restore it anyways. It's not going above. Yeah.
There were strong reductions in 3-methylhistidine, which is a marker that...
I'll tell you what you're all doing. By going there chronically lifting, thinking you're going to build a muscle in a gym or something, you're going to get over this domain, wherever, lifting there chronically, whatever. You're simply aging yourself, and you're shortening your telomeres, and you're shortening the satellite cell pool. You're using up your progenitor cells, your stem cells. You're shortening that pool. It's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So as you get older, it'll get worse and worse and worse for you. The whole point is to try to increase that stem cell pool for future regenerative demands and purposes. But if you shorten it, if you narrow it down, you'll end up like everybody else, every other factory worker, labor job worker, whatever, with canes, a walker, and a push cart, like Ronnie Coleman. Yeah.
It's associated with overall catabolism. So when we see a reduction in methylhistidine, we know we're breaking down less muscle. Bottom line is, start with a couple grams. If you're worried about water retention, 1 to 2 grams, try it. That's about what I take, and I don't retain water from it. Okay, let's move into this next one that is super wild, and there's some new...
Thomas Delaure is a young guy. He's a young man. He hasn't reached really that old age yet. What do you expect? The fuck does he know?
Crazy evidence that's really interesting that compares rats and humans in the same study, talking about vitamin D. Okay, so here's the deal with vitamin D. First, I want to talk about a study that was published in Renal Nutrition.
Vitamin D, animal fat and animal protein has vitamin D. So what are you talking about? It's full of it. It's found in animals.
nutrition took a look at some people that were going through hemodialysis. So they were relatively sedentary. So this is
It's not found in any plants.
what's cool. Vitamin D3 might be really good for people that aren't heavily resistance training, but just don't want to lose muscle mass. So they
That's not gonna bypass myonuclear domain size limit. That's not gonna build you any muscle. It's nice to have vitamin D, and so what?
took 49 people and put them on vitamin D while going through dialysis, and 30 people did not. What they found is that when they took a look at their thigh muscle mass, those that were taking the vitamin D that were relatively sedentary.
Then if protein builds muscle like he says, right? Because he didn't want you to hear that part. You don't need any of that. It's protein that what builds it. And go on a carnivore diet, go to the gym, and see if that protein is going to build it. It's going to build that muscle. In other words, cut out all the variables, the herbivore diet, and go straight on a carnivore diet, right? And see if you can bypass myonuclear domain size just by going to the gym and eating protein, straight protein. Okay? There's nothing interfering with that. Go and show me you can build some muscle. Yeah. No, nothing. Gonna build shit there.
Retained a lot more muscle than those that did not. And it has to do more than likely with insulin sensitivity.
They built a lot more muscle than those who did not. You know what they built? They built inflammatory response, some lactic acid, maybe blood flow restriction, some blood, and sarcoplasmic muscles, loading energy into the muscle.
And how vitamin D influences insulin secretion. Insulin, although we demonize it a lot, it is critical for anabolism and for maintaining muscle. So
This is all useless. This is just making shit up, man.
if you have proper insulin secretion and proper insulin...
He's just talking shit. It's like to confuse you. A proper insulin, this, that, is a faker of sophistication because he needs to sell you on these products. That's why he was hesitant to tell you protein synthesis and protein breakdown, because that's what you need to build muscles. You understand me? Protein synthesis breakdown. But it only happens when you come into the gym the very first time. You call it newbie gains, and that's why you call it newbie gains, and then you get no gains. That's why everybody's trying to get the gains, and they're all running towards steroids, creatine, and everything, you know, eating more carbs and stuff, and weird food, bulk diets, lean bulking. They have to do all these phony things because muscle has reached a myonuclear domain size limit, where it reached the ceiling limit during hypertrophic process, where the satellite cell is beyond where it can donate any more extra nuclei to that domain to support any more further muscle growth. Bro, what part do people not understand on the internet?
sensitivity, you can retain and preserve and even build muscle better. But now let's look at this other study that's really cool, newer stuff. This was published in Molecular Metabolism. Took a look at rats and humans and their vitamin D receptor. So in rats, they overexpressed the vitamin D receptor, meaning they created a lot more receptors for vitamin D in an unnatural way. And they did this for 10 days. They saw when they did that, the rats had more muscle. They had more strength, all by just increasing vitamin D receptor. That's wild. Okay.
Yeah, through energy. Through energy. They got more energy. It's a drug. It's an enhanced performing drug. These drugs are enhanced performers. You understand me? Listen, sugar is an enhanced performing drug when you take it. Think about it. It's refined. If they refine it, it's a legal drug like marijuana, alcohol. Only in sugar is an energy drug. It makes you strong in the gym when you take it. That's why when people they don't eat carbs, they go, I don't feel so strong. I don't live so heavy and all this kind of shit. They're always complaining because it's a drug, bro. Get it?
But that's rats. We can't take that to the bank. It's interesting, but can't 100% take it to the bank. So with humans, what they did is they monitored their vitamin D receptors. They monitored how much they were being expressed, and they put them on a resistance training regimen. They found when they resistance trained, the more that they expressed vitamin D receptors, the more vitamin D receptor they expressed, the more muscle they built and the more strength that they had. So
the more energy they got inside the muscle, which hypertrophied the muscle, which you would call sarcoplasmic, and it gave them more strength because it's these things that they're taking. It's like it increases hormones to bind with the androgen receptor, and they're working a lot harder. So they get some adaptations in receptors when they're moving their body, and that receptor is responsible for the force, for maximum force production, where the molecule binds. Duh.
Combine this data with the rodent model data where we can get a little more granular with the more observational data, we're like, whoa, vitamin D is doing something cool. Now in the rats, they saw ribosomal biogenesis, they saw muscle protein synthesis, and they saw hypertrophy, so anabolic signaling. So they saw all these like molecular changes. So the bottom line is, I usually say like 3,000 to 4,000 IUs of vitamin D, but I would honestly recommend more like cod liver oil, so you get the vitamin A and you get the...
Yeah, I recommend all these things, everything. You think he's doing any of these things? He's doing them or he's done them. He wants to sell you on this garbage.
Omega-3 with it too, and you're not taking the risk of a potential synthetic. I don't hate vitamin D. I think it's important and it's better than having low levels, but I always question.
You know how many delusional people that are out there that will believe what he says?
Like, why are we all so low in vitamin D, even if we're outside? There might be something else going on, so let's just try to get it from Whole Foods whenever possible, just because we don't know, right? This next one is so cheap and so simple. Okay, in the journal Endocrinology Metabolism published a wicked cool paper. I'm talking about essential amino acids. Take your branched chain amino acids and throw them in the trash. EAAs have more what you need. They're your essentials. But why are they so cool for muscle building? Well, this study took a look at chronic use and acute use of essential amino acids on lean body mass, strength, and muscle protein synthesis. They saw immediately upon acute usage of EAAs, there was a significant increase in muscle protein synthesis, just a big spike. But what they found over the course of 3 months, just using 7.5 grams of EAAs per day, it increased the baseline of muscle protein synthesis. So not just an acute spike when they had it, their whole baseline changed. Their entire being of muscle protein synthesis was more. Could you have achieved this arguably with just more protein? Yes, you probably could. It's all about the leucine availability. So full disclaimer, yeah, you could probably increase your protein intake and get there. But if you can also get there, maybe you're not hungry, maybe you can't have protein all the time. EAAs are certainly cheaper, but you can also sort of EAA or leucine spike your own diet to increase the availability of leucine. Now, it seems to have induced anabolism.
What the hell is he talking about, man? He's crazy. What else does he have here? What else? What other fake stuff does he have? Some products here, Warrior products.
Now I also put a link down below if you like protein powders. The one that I use occasionally is Sun Warrior. Now
he uses. I use this occasionally, 1 scoop in once a year, because I'm just selling these products. He probably never eats it because he has enough money to eat real food. This is for the slaves out there that are poor.
Rotate between whey protein powder and
the poor slaves.
Plant-based protein powder because I don't like to use the same full spectrum protein shake that also has nutritional value to it, not just straight up.
There's all chemicals in here, man. It's been fortified, and he's telling you, look how healthy this is for you.
Whey protein. Now again, if you like whey protein,
this cannot be healthy for you.
That's totally cool. You don't have to do this, but I recommend the supply demand for oxygen.
Yes.
Now, how it does
nitric oxide, so you can get a pump, bro. You can pump the muscle with nitric oxide, and then you'll get a temporary hypertrophy. Vasodilator. Yeah, nitric oxide. Boom.
Is it ends up
more fake pumps, fake pumping up, penis pump. Pretty soon he'll be selling you a body penis pump. You can go inside a human penis pump and just suck your body, and it'll swell up. And you'll walk around with swollen fucking muscles. It's like these pumps. They have penis pumps and titty pumps and ass pumps. You put them on the titties swell up, and then they stay pretty big for a little while, and then they shrink slowly. Yeah.
Relaxing the smooth muscles that are in your arteries. So your arteries relax and more blood gets to the muscle. This obviously delivers more oxygen, so you arguably have more energy, but you definitely have more blood flow and potentially more nutrient delivery. Now we've seen evidence with beetroot juice doing this for endurance.
Yeah, beetroot juice, nitric oxide, yeah, it'll deliver more nutrients and everything. Ooh, yeah.
But as far as strength and hypertrophy...
Yeah, strength, hypertrophy.
Paramount Plus is now Canada's home of South Park.
About taurine. Now what's cool with taurine is we're starting to see data come out that our body produces it to essentially help us do more. So there are 2 reviews.
It helps you do more, like another drug. It makes you do more, push you to do more. Yes, okay.
One in the frontiers of physiology, and one
Another great slave drug to push you to be a lifting slave at the gym for another reason than to build some faking muscles.
in the International Journal of Sports Nutrition.
Okay.
So when we look at all the
Let's go to HMB.
HMB, maybe you've seen my video out there before, was a
HMB, another one, dynamite, bro. Yeah.
very unbiased breakdown. But with HMB, you're essentially looking at like building blocks of leucine in the first place. Leucine being that primary amino
Building blocks of leucine, yes.
for muscle mass. So there was an interesting study that demonstrated
For muscle mass. Why are we seeing any mass in the gym, though, bro? Why are we seeing any real mass? And why, when we stop, it goes away? Why does it disappear? Oh, it was all cosmetic shit. I gotta stop buying these cosmetics, broski. Get it? Like the girl down the street putting cosmetics on her face. Eventually, the cosmetics destroy her face and give her wrinkles and make her look old and nasty. Because there's chemicals in there, bro.
an increase in hypertrophy, increase in strength, increase in resistance to fatigue.
Yes, resistance to fatigue and all that. I just don't want to be tired and everything. I just want to push myself harder so I can just fucking destroy myself faster than last time in age. Accelerate aging, man, yeah.
Overall increase in recovery, but it was much stronger.
Yes, I want to recover so I can go back and hit it like the gym slave that I am, man, to destroy my body faster than it can destroy itself. Yes, man.
In untrained individuals.
Bombaclat, man. Untrained even. Oh.
Not so strong in trained individuals.
Why is that? Why is it not so strong in trained individuals, but it's very strong in untrained individuals? Because anybody untrained already always gets something in the beginning. Once you're trained, you're adapted. There is nothing happening anymore. You're a gym slave, bro.
And the reason thought so to be behind this is that when you start getting used to training,
yeah, when you start getting used to training, what happens? What happens?
Your level of proteolysis, how much you kind of break down, goes down because.
Oh, how much you're breaking down goes down? Okay. So now that you're trained, how much you're breaking down goes down. It doesn't break down that much. Why does it break down more when you first start, but doesn't break down so much anymore as a trained individual?
Your body becomes more efficient at maintaining your muscle.
Oh, it becomes more efficient at maintaining the muscles. Get it, bro? But not building any more muscles, just maintaining.
When you are a newbie, you start lifting weights, your body's like, break it down, your proteolysis.
Oh, when you're a newbie, it's like, break it down. Oh, yeah, okay, bro.
Is a lot higher. So introduce.
Oh, it's a lot higher there when you're a newbie. And then you're no longer a newbie. Kind of sucks, doesn't it?
HMB, or even leucine for that matter, is going to have a more dramatic impact at stopping that proteolysis, that muscle.
Oh, proteolysis, proteolysis. Yes, I've read these things before. They're all in NCBI, bro. And what?
Breakdown. So again, the most important thing is stopping breakdown. Everything else.
The most important is to stop breakdown. What happens when you stop breakdown? If you can you stop it? Yeah, you could. But what happens if you do stop it? And what do you need to do to stop that breakdown?
This is just a little icing on the cake. So HMB is a tough one because at the end of the day, you could probably get a similar effect with just leucine. But for newbies, it might be a squeak better than leucine. But it's an inexpensive supplement, and you can find water that's infused with it that you can sip on.
A squeak, and there's water, and there's fused in there. You can sip on
all day.
Yeah.
It's pretty straightforward. So I would recommend it if you're a newbie, but then phase it out after you've been training for a while.
Like
and the last one is a very interesting.
Did you see that? It looks like cocaine, man. It's part of the cocaine factory. That looks like it's purely made in a laboratory, artificial, bro.
Interesting one, and I think this is a very important note.
Synthetic.
It's one you want to
Pure synthetic.
consider cycling, not taking in all the time. It's beta-alanine. Now, if you're used to taking a pre-workout,
Holy shit, beta-alanine. That's the one we gotta get. Yes, sir.
9 times out of 10, you're going to have beta-alanine. So maybe you should cycle your pre-workouts. You might get a tingly
Yeah, I'm gonna be cycling my pre-workouts. Yes, sir, yes.
feeling from it, but the real reason what's going on, why we want to use beta-alanine, is it increases carnosine. And when you increase
Oh, it increases carnosine. So when it increases, what it do?
carnosine, you increase the buffering of lactate.
Oh, the buffering of lactate. Is that like lactic acid? The buffering? We're gonna buffering of the lactate. Okay.
And hydrogen ions, which arguably are
Don't women lactate?
what give you the burning sensation. So it changes the pH of
The burning sensation, lactic acid buildup. That's like inflammation. When you work out, gym bros get inflammatory response muscles. Now they're getting the lactic acid muscles, more phony muscles, more artificial muscles. Cool. Yeah, I want to look just like a big blown up fish, man. That's it. Walking around like swole, like a motherfucker, like a penis, like just came out of a penis pump.
your muscle as you increase that burn. Carnosine helps buffer
Yeah, I
that.
really want to increase that burn because I really want the oxidative and hypoxia and all this to really, fuck me up, man, and accelerate aging.
Essentially making you push further. There's a big caveat though.
Oh, I'm going to push further like a gym slave. Gym slave, you need to push further. You got to work harder than the last time. Even though it reached the bionuclear domain size limit, a ceiling limit, shit. You're never bypassing that limit.
Well, first of all, let me explain the data. The Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research did publish a
Yes, you explain the data to us, Thomas Delaure. Please explain this because I'm really out to lunch.
paper, 4 grams versus placebo. The 4-gram group was able to push
4 gram plus placebo. The 4 gram group, they were able to push themselves aerobically.
further. They did have more hypertrophy, but there wasn't a ton.
They had more hypertrophy in what? In inflammation, lactic acid, acidosis.
Of difference in strength. Now, what this tells us is that
It always comes down to the strength thing, right? The fantasy world strength. Okay, I got it, man.
it's not going to help you with brute strength, but it might help you with that hypertrophy
It's not going to help you with brute strength because brute strength is based on size, like real size, like fucking tissue size, bro.
range where you normally get the burn. So if you're going for brute strength, like 1 to 3 reps, you're fatiguing just
Oh, he's trying to tell you brute strength, the lifting now. He's equating it. Okay, yeah, brute strength, you can lift that.
like hitting a wall versus burn. Think about the difference of what it feels like to train in 10 to 15 reps. It's like
Yeah, what does it feel like when you train 10 to 15 reps? And what do you get when you train 10 to 15 reps? What's the feeling? What are you looking for? What's going on there?
oh, that
Patrick?
burns, I'm pushing through it, compared to 1 to 3 reps and you're pushing your
So I'm trying to get a burn. So I'm lifting these 10 to whatever reps, whatever, so I can get a burn in the muscle, acidosis. Oh, I understand. Okay, and that's how they hypertrophy like that. How long does that hypertrophy last for? 24 hours, 48, 10, what, 12?
It's like, ugh, I can't do anymore, right? No real burn. So it's helping you deal with the burn. What's the problem?
Oh, it's helping you to deal with the burn, but you want the burn because you want a hypertrophy, don't you?
This. Lactate is a signaling device. Lactate triggers our adaptation.
Yeah, when women lactate, it's signaling them time to feed the child too, yeah.
So it helps us facilitate new change and growth. So again, it's
Facilitate new changes in growth, but you're not growing anymore. You stopped growing at the age of 25. What the hell are you talking about? And muscles stopped growing at 15 because it reached a nuclear domain size limit. I think you need to brush up on your science, broski. See you in the next one. Ciao,
one of those
bro.
you want to take just when you are pushing it hard
Yes.
and you're going through phases where you want a little more hypertrophy, and then you should cycle off of it so you
Yes, see, you got more hypertrophy, cycle off of it, get a little bit more hypertrophy. He didn't tell you what kind of hypertrophy, but we already know it's inflammatory and acidosis and all that. He kind of mentions it, didn't directly say because he doesn't want to make you feel bad, but okay.
you don't lose the ability to buffer naturally. Whether or not that's true, I don't know, but it doesn't seem like a risk I
Of course, what do you know? He doesn't know anything. I'll see you in the next one. Tell us what you think about that. Like, subscribe, support the channel, comment down below. Helps the algorithm, broski. Another fake guru fitness, bro, gym bro, bullshit, whatever, pushing supplements, crap, bro. Yeah, man. You want to build some phony muscles? There you go. See you in the next one. Ciao, friends.